Let me move to Anuradha then, and I want a word from you, Anuradha, on the Indian performers, the top performers. I'm picking out Ashwin and Rohit, but you can obviously quote somebody else as well. It could be Akshar Patel, it could be Rishabh Pant, it could be Virat Kohli. But I just want first a word on Rohit Sharma and Ravi Ashwin. How impressed were you by their performances?
As I said on your question of the toss, no, you asked me.
Yeah.
Whatever I was responding to, I mentioned the toss and I mentioned Rohit Sharma. So we wouldn't be even talking about the toss if Rohit Sharma had not played the way he did. It was his score, I think, which I think Mayuri said that gave the bowlers the chance to put pressure. Without that, if we didn't have a score that much, we wouldn't be. Even though the score difference between the two teams is 317, without even if you, I mean, if you were to deduct Rohit Sharma's performance and think we would still win, we would not win. Rohit Sharma was the reason that we were confident we could have that attitude on the field because we had that kind of a score, and Rohit Sharma coming back like that was really, really amazing. Ashwin's batting, I mean, Ashwin is a good bowler, and I think whatever criticism he received earlier after the first match, because there was a lot of complaining that happened about the SG ball, etc. I think that changed because I think the attitude changed. It was something very, very stark attitude difference between India in the first test and then second test. The body language was very different. So Ashwin, definitely what he did was remarkable. I can't compare the two performances. I read your tweet about Kohli not mentioning Rohit Sharma's performance, and
there you go.
Of course, Ashwin became man of the match. So I think you feel that Rohit Sharma deserved the man of the match.
Well, what I think is, yeah, somebody mentioned.
You'll get people fighting on Twitter at least, I think. But I can't compare the two performances. I'm really delighted at having watched. I did not watch all the 4 days, to be honest. I watched the match in glimpses, but I've enjoyed whatever I saw because this was, I wanted to be at the stadium to watch this match. This was that kind of a match. And India winning, of course, Sone Pe Suhaga type of a thing. It was absolutely fabulous. Yeah. I feel for Harry, but I think I would have accompanied Harry to this match. This was really good to watch. I mean, we should go to Ahmedabad, people. Let's go to Ahmedabad.
We will. But let me first, so what I mentioned in my tweet was, the Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli thing was very perplexing.
I had no idea what you asked, by the way. I
asked you, no. I asked you about the performance. You mentioned it. So, let me then add some spice to it. Thank you for making my job easier. Let me ask Harry. As the, as an England supporter, Harry, if you were to pick up one man of the match, would you pick Ashwin or would you pick Rohit Sharma?
It's a difficult one because I believe that the knock that Sharma had on the first day, it set the game up, and once Sharma had made those runs, there was no way back. So it kind of was not irrelevant, but it was a kind of a foregone conclusion what was going to happen. So if you're basing the man of match award on, who's actually won you that game, possibly Sharma, but amazing performance by Ashwin. I think when you look back on it, he probably contributed the most over the 3.5 days. I also think it's important to note that afternoon session on the first day, how well Rahane batted as well, because it was difficult conditions, and that partnership, allowed Sharma to kind of bat freely. And just looking back at the highlights, like the ball was doing a lot in that afternoon session. I don't think they lost a wicket in that time, and that was really where the game got away from England.
Sure. Yeah. I think Fair point, I believe. Let me ask Raja the same question. Raja, just very quickly, if you were to pick one, would you still go ahead and pick Ashwin, or would it be Rohit for you?
It would be Rohit. For me, it would be Rohit, really. Like everyone has said, he set up the game. And to be honest, if Ashwin hadn't got those wickets, Akshar would have got those wickets. It was that type of a wicket that, a spinner would have got wickets on the surface. So Ashwin just happened to get so many because he is a very good bowler. I don't want to take anything away from him, but if he hadn't got those, Akshar would have got them. Whereas with batting, if Rohit hadn't got those runs, there was nobody else. So for me, it would have been Rohit. For all Ashwin, I don't want to take anything away from Ashwin. Fantastic 100 also. I was really happy to see that because he's come back into batting form, which he's quite capable of getting these runs. But for me, it is Rohit. It should have been Rohit.
Yeah, maybe we all got blinded by the fact that, of course, Ashwin, this was the third instance of him scoring a century and taking a 5-for in the same match. And he equals, it does not equal Botham, but he joins Botham as, one of the only two players. He was tied with, I think, Callis prior to this. Botham has done it 5 times. So that tells you about the quality of Ian Botham. He's done it.
He was
and
legend,
if he had taken, he was a legend. And if he had taken 2 more wickets, I think he would have joined Botham, Imran and Saqib in taking, in scoring a century and taking 10 wickets in the match. Yeah. All right. Okay.
Can I make one point as well? Very quick point, because nobody's mentioned that yet. Everybody talked about Moeen Ali and Ben Foakes, as an English standout. I think there's an honorable mention for Jack Leach also. He bowled really well. Huh? I like the way he bowled. He didn't get as many wickets as he should have, but he bowled really well. That's all I want to say. He's good. Very good. I'm impressed by him, actually.
Sure. Absolutely. Good bowler is, except for the mauling that he received in the first innings from.
Other than that, he's done quite well.
He's done very well, including taking Rohit Sharma's wicket again, or for Jaffa again. So.